Good day everyone! To my fellow vet students and to Doc Jara, I am Mesina and this is my AS107 Ruminant Production and Herd Health Management third long exam video presentation. As a brief introduction, a ruminant is any animal that chew cud such as grasses and forage but not legumes and concentrates, and they also have one compartmentalized stomach with 4 compartments, namely the rumen or paunch, in Tagalog, tualya, next the reticulum or honeycomb, then a mesum known as libro in Tagalog, and lastly the abomasum that is considered as the true stomach. So, goat. Goat with the scientific name Caprahyrcus is a hardy, domesticated ruminant animal that is noted for its lively behavior and also kept for its milk and meat production. Moving on to the main topic of this presentation, there are several factors to be considered in starting a goat farm and making it into a profitable business. The first one is the selection of the site. To start, this is my hometown. This is where I live at Purok 2, Barangay San Juan, San Fernando, Pampanga, specifically in that bright green house. Our barangay or community is a busy neighborhood. It has sari-sari stores in it, public elementary and secondary schools, and it is also just at the back of the popular Mega World capital town where the biggest McDonald's in Asia is located. So, with this initial information, is it ideal to start a backyard goat farm in my area? In my opinion, supported with trusted sources and RRLs in managing a goat farm and in having one, even though my area do have adequate water supply, proper drainage system, therefore not prone to flooding, and it also has adequate ground level, no, it is still not ideal to start a backyard goat farm in my community. First point, we do not have a backyard or any available spacious lot here. As simple as that, as raising goats requires space for their shelter. Second point, we have neighbors. My area is located in a compound and other complaints may be experienced if I decide to start my goat farm in here. And third, accessibility. Our barangay is quite far from the nearest market and the roads are tight, considering the fact that there are always people in the roads we have, gossiping every day and every night, and even young students from the schools located here. That's why transportation of the livestock and the maintenance of the operation itself can be difficult. Fourth, there is high potential risks for predators such as the neighboring dogs. And lastly, for the natural food source of the goat, which is grasses and forage in this community, it is not plenty. If the number of goats I'm raising is more than the forage they can utilize in this area, it may lead to environmental degradation and eventually will be gone. With this, I have chosen a place that is more suited for a backyard goat farm area, and that is at the Mega Dike Purok 7, Barangay San Juan, San Fernando, Pampanga. And it is actually beside my parents' apartments as their rental business, which is an advantage for me. Going back with our checklist, this area has adequate water supply which is in our apartment area, and it is also actually near a water pumping station. It has access to proper drainage system and it is also in a dike, as I have said, therefore not prone to flooding and water stagnation. Also, with a little bit of cleaning and cutting of the grasses, it is surely an appropriate location to make space for the construction of the shelters for the goats, separated pens for the lactating ones, for the kids, for the growers, bucks, and many more, and most importantly, for their pasture as grazing area. Next, it is away from noisy, busy people and neighborhood. Third, it is accessible to good roads as seen on this map. Fourth, there isn't any dogs or stray animals in the area that may be a potential predator for the ruminants. And lastly, it is abundant in the forages and grasses as the natural food source of the goats. With the mentioned points, I therefore conclude that this area is 100% suitable site to start a small-scale goat farm. For starters, I am planning to raise 25 heads. According to sources in the Philippine setting, 25 doe level needs a minimal initial capital investment of 67,250 pesos. It was also said in my source that positive income and return on investment are already met even at the first year of the business. And actually, during the pandemic, my father already had cleared this area and had built and constructed a goat shelter in our lot at Megadike. This is the pictures and videos as proof. However, our venture of starting a goat backyard farm was not pushed through as my father was called for a work in New Zealand. Currently, the built goat shelter was just left behind, and thanks to this output, I can now continue our plans of having a small-scale ruminant farm. I think with a small capital investment for the goats, my goat farm is feasible. For the next part, I will not be just raising and selling goats. I also plan to sell the raw meat of my goats per kilo, cooked meat with variety of menus and delicacies such as kambing kilawin, sinampalukang kambing, papaitan, sisig kambing, and kalderetang kambing. I will also sell the milk of my goats as natural organic goat milk, and also to my target consumers of fur parents, as goat milk can be an ingredient of milk replacer for puppies. Then I also have an idea of an innovative product, which is to make the meat of goats as a main ingredient of chicharon. My friend's business is actually chicharon making, and I can discuss my idea to him so that we can collaborate in the future. Next slide. Being a ruminant veterinarian. Even though there are certain circumstances and bad days in being one, such as times of being kicked by these animals, with having dirty fingernails and hands in the farm, being immune to bad smell, sweating all day, potential burnout, and being stronger than any other veterinarians, as being a ruminant vet requires us to handle the small and even the largest animals. To my fellow veterinary medicine students, there is so much opportunity in being a ruminant veterinarian. Aside from the fact that the salary is good, the experience is immaculate, there is always new opportunity to learn, and a chance to be able to have a relationship within the people in the farm, in a province, calmness away from the city, and in the countryside. I know to myself that being a ruminant veterinarian is the most fulfilling and rewarding job as an animal doctor, as these poor species are considered as livestock, and in specializing in ruminant for them, I hope to give them the tender love and care they also need, even in just a short period of their life, and I hope you do realize that too. They need us more than we need them. That is why I encourage you all to pursue this specialization. For the next part, going back to my soon-to-be goat farm, I would like to call it Goat to Believe. Since this is just an initial plan of mine, I hope, wish, and believe that I can and I will turn this into a reality in the future. That's why I decided to name it Goat to Believe at the Mula de Mesina Goat Farm. Thank you for watching. Bye!
Got to believe in magic. Tell me, how do people find each other?